You want to live in a more beautiful, calmer state more regularly. Well, today I want to share three key lessons I learned from the book Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And I wanted to share them with you today. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra special point for you then as well. Now, don't get me wrong, life can be hard, right? There can be challenges. Admittedly, I've had many, like personal and professional challenges. And when like work, business, relationships aren't going right, they can impact our emotions, especially if we've not trained them right. Of course, like losing someone or something will impact that. And I'm not saying like just go snap out of it and be happy. No, that's not healthy, because you need to actually feel your emotions. We're all human beings at the end of the day. What I really want to talk about, though, is some lessons I learned from Man's Search for Meaning. Because a lot of times, and I'm certainly so guilty of this, right? We get stressed over small things because we're actually quite conditioned to be stressed in this society. We're like conditioned for fear, like the media and things like that doesn't help, right? There's a lot of negativity going around, and often small things can really stress us out. And then if you like look in comparison to some things going on in the world, it's really not that stressful. Now, I'm not saying you just need to be bang, like there's a process. You've got to work on your emotions every single day. I just wanted to take some of the learnings from the book today to really share with you, because it's a really powerful book. Now, what is this book if you've not come across it? Man's Search for Meaning is written by Viktor Frankl, who was it was a prisoner in some of the worst conditions in the Holocaust, and he wrote a book about like his story. And actually, he was treated horribly, but people dying around him, people can't even describe it, but he had a meaning. He attached meaning to life, and that's what kept him going. And therefore, that's why this book is so powerful, because if a human being can keep themselves in some kind of spirit and some kind of meaning and get themselves out of a horrendous situation when people getting tortured and killed around them, then as human beings, we've probably got a lot more capacity than we realize to feel good. Considering unfortunately, admittedly, there are some horrible situations in the world. Let's not hide away from that. Yet, most of us probably wouldn't have experienced the extreme of that. Now, I'm not saying I'm never going to assume anything. Yet, it does show it's possible for us to feel, when we have a meaning to us, more positive, more regularly. And again, I'm not saying snap out of it. I'm not saying suddenly you're just going to feel good. I'm just wanting to share some lessons from it that really helped me when I've had my bad days, been feeling down. Because sometimes like we can be stressed at work or work situation, which can be hard. And I'm not saying don't feel it, but this book kind of gave me a different perspective. So how's that helping you, perhaps being stressed and stuck in the same way? For me, it didn't help me, right? So let's go into these three key lessons I learned. So the first one is meaning is everything. The meaning we put to things is key. If I always hear Tony Robbins say this, he says, if you're in a relationship and you treat it like it's the beginning compared to like it being the end, it's going to have a completely different meaning. You're going to be enthusiastic, you're going to be excited, as opposed to the end, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be sad, you're going to be down, right? If like you could get a message from someone and you could mean it to be like really exciting, or you could mean it to be like, oh my God, I can't believe they said that, and read it in the wrong way. You could lose something like a job or a business or something. And I'm not saying that's going to be easy, their experience. Of course not. I've been through that as well. But you could wallow in pity for a very long time and be like, oh, this happens to me, and I'm a victim of these horrible financial times or whatever. Or you could look at it like, I've got an opportunity to do what I really love now, and what can I learn from this? Meaning is everything. And the meaning he put on a huge amount of pain he was going through to mean that he could show to other human beings that when you set yourself a goal and you get out of horrible conditions, there is hope for other people to feel good as well. The second one is courage and hope are vital. This was something I learned from it, and we can train them. So true. Like courage is courage is not the absence of fear. It's feeling fear and doing it anyway. And you can train it every day by just doing little acts, and hope you can keep training yourself for what you want and then really feeling into it and believing into it, as long as it's obviously physically possible, of course. Now, and then the final one that I learned from the book was that any strength a man had in the moment had to come from him or her having, her in this case, what I'm talking about, any human being that had like that strength in the moment has the strength in the moment, and there has to be some kind of future goal. You've got to have something to inspire to, and that's really going to keep you going. So start getting curious about what you like, what you enjoy, and then set yourselves goals, because that's going to excite you as well. Okay, my bonus point for you is not necessarily from the book, but it's a theme I was picking up personally. It's the questions you ask yourself every single day are going to ultimately impact on how you feel. If you're able to feel in a more beautiful, calmer state. If you ask yourself, what's going to go wrong today, is going to create a completely different meaning and therefore feeling than if, oh, what can I be excited about today? Or what's beautiful about my life? That's going to create completely different meanings and feelings. So start thinking and noting about the questions you ask yourself every day. Even if you wake up and then just spend yourself a couple of minutes to ask yourself 3 good quality questions and write them down. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you for listening. You're improving other people's lives for being the best you. And remember, you are in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.